Hi everybody, it's me, Waddles, the British version. Today we're going to talk about Dripstone. It's a pretty cool looking block and has a couple different uses. In this video, this one right here, we're going to talk about those uses and some farms that you can make with this stuff. This video is going to be a little bit different than the normal ones I make. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, leave a like, and if you're new here, subscribe. Without any more delay, let's talk about Dripstone. Absolute basics, this is Dripstone. Dripstone comes in two forms, a block form and a pointed form. Absolute Mad Lab beginning, I know. Dripstone is pretty interesting stuff. For years, players have been asking for pointy rock blocks, and finally, it's here. Dripstone itself is great for decorating, but it's also great for farms. Because of Dripstone, lava is now actually renewable. Now, if you're looking for Dripstone, you're going to have to go under the ground. You should be able to find Dripstone generating in small patches under the ground. It's not necessarily the most common stuff in the world. It definitely won't be in every single cave that you find, but at the same time, it shouldn't be too hard to get. In 1.18, this stuff gets a whole biome. It's going to get way easier to get. So this is what it's going to look like when you find it generating. I didn't build this or anything. This is literally just what it looked like. And actually, check this out. Like I was saying, it's not too rare. Here's another patch over here. Now, this patch is actually a little bit more significant. It looks a whole lot better. It's on the ceiling. It's on the floor. When it comes to the Y range, if you're looking for this stuff, a lower limit and upper limit, good news. It seems like as long as you're under the ground, you're pretty much good. So this stuff generated at Y17. Up here, this patch is a little bit higher. I'm guessing this is going to be in the 30s. Yup, Y36 right there in the 30s. Here's another cluster that I just found. It's got copper ore on the wall, iron ore down there, amethyst geode in the background, an absolute vibe for sure, and it's at Y49. So yeah, you can find this stuff actually pretty close to the surface. In survival, good news. If you want this, you can literally mine it with anything, even a wooden pickaxe if that's all that you have. Dripstone is very easy to mine. If you can't get a pickaxe for some reason, then you should consider a different game. Okay, just kidding. But you can buy pointed dripstone from the watering trader. Scammer. We don't talk about him. When it comes to tips for locating dripstone, unfortunately, I really don't have any other than just go into the caves and start caving. Light up the caves, do something else, and hopefully, eventually you'll find this stuff. I got lucky in my survival world and actually first found it generating inside of a mine shaft. So yeah, as long as you're under the ground, it seems that pretty much anything is a go. Pointed dripstone is some pretty useful stuff. There are a couple different farms that you can make with this stuff that we're going to talk about in a second. Or you could take 4 pointed dripstone, put it in a crafting table, and make the dripstone block. Now, once you've done that, you can't get it back, so make sure you're sure about it. This is the dripstone block. It looks pretty cool, but honestly, it's just decorational. It does have a use in some of the farms, but yeah, it's just a decorational block. Kind of looks cool. Ancient debris gives me like a cinnamon roll vibe. Dripstone gives me like a cinnamon roll that hasn't been cooked up yet vibe. And pointed dripstone goes on the ceiling or the floor. This is a stalactite up here. This is a stalagmite down there. I definitely won't remember that after like 30 seconds, but that's how it is. Oh yeah, and two more cool things about dripstone. You can make it as tall as you want from the ceiling or the floor as long as there's room. And you can waterlog it. You can put it under the water too, which makes it great for decoration. Farm that uses pointed dripstone number 1. Word of advice, don't build this farm. It's a waste of time. What this thing farms you is literally all around you in the world. You don't really need a farm for it, but if you want a farm for it, here it is. You need like 4 things for it. A cauldron, some building blocks, pointed dripstone, a water bucket. Unless you're like really clever and you set it up in a way where you just have a water source, then you have the water source good on you, but I'm going to need the water bucket. So you're going to want to start by placing a cauldron on the ground or somewhere. Less than 11 blocks away, directly above it, you need a pointed dripstone. So I could do it way up there. I could do it even higher. I could do it like right there above the cauldron. It doesn't matter as long as it's less than 11 blocks away. The block that the pointed dripstone is hanging on also doesn't matter. It could be actual proper dripstone. It could be calcite. It could be dirt block. It literally doesn't matter. You have a cauldron on the ground less than 11 blocks away. You have a solid block with pointed dripstone on it. And then on top of that solid block, you're going to have a water source or something waterlogged. So that could be this right here. That could be this right here. Doesn't really matter. We'll just go with that. Now, all we do is wait. This pointed dripstone is now dripping, literally dripping into the cauldron. Eventually, after a while, the cauldron will fill up a little bit, and then it'll fill up again, and then it'll fill up one more time. I think there's 3 layers to a cauldron, and eventually, you'll be able to get water. It's pretty exciting. Now, you're going to have to be patient with this process here. According to the Minecraft wiki, this will take on average about a day to work, like in-game, like 19 minutes. So, yeah, maybe not the best way to get water, but away. The only place that I could really see this thing being useful is in like maybe 1.17 skyblock. You need more water or something. You could farm it like that, which is pretty cool. But other than that, completely pointless. That's how it's done though. Farm that uses pointed dripstone number 2. This is an amazing farm. Don't sleep on it. Definitely build this thing. Just like Pointy Rock, this farm is something that people have been wanting in the game for like so long. Same materials, basically, except this time, trade the water source out for a lava source. So we're going to start the same. We have a cauldron. Less than 11 blocks away, we have a solid block. We have pointed dripstone hanging from that block. Now what we're going to do is go up here and fully block this block in all the way like that. Remove that. And then put lava bucket right there. And then we wait again. Check out the pointed dripstone. This time it's not only dripping, but it's dripping lava. This is so amazing. Cauldron right below it. Could be closer, could be a little bit farther. As long as you're within 11, this cauldron is now going to slowly fill up with lava. This is amazing. One of the best 1.17 things. Lava is renewable. Lava cauldron. It's so amazing. Now, just like that pointless water generator that I showed you a second ago, you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to wait. This process is a slow process. It could take a Minecraft day or even more. But it's so good. You could actually generate lava. From one lava source comes so many. On its own, this thing is cool and honestly better than nothing. But where this thing truly starts to get good is on larger scales. If you can get like a bunch of lava sources, line them all up, put a bunch of pointed dripstone below those blocks, and then a bunch of cauldrons below there. So you end up with something that kind of looks like this, but maybe even a bigger scale. This is great. You have a whole lava growing operation, which is amazing. It's sad, but there's no way to speed this thing up. Even if you build it on a larger scale, it's still going to take just as long. There are no blocks that you can put around it or above it or anything like that that will speed this up. Make sure there are no blocks in between the pointed dripstone and the cauldron. It all needs to be air. Even if you were to put something like string above the cauldron, it's in the way, and it's not going to work anymore. And one more thing to know about the lava farm and the water farm. So the cauldron needs to be within 10 blocks from the pointed dripstone, and the pointed dripstone cannot be more than 11 blocks long. So unfortunately for us, that's going to mean something like this right here. What I'm setting up right now is not going to work for a lava farm. You're going to have to redesign the thing. If this was your aesthetic, I mean, it's an aesthetic. That's all that I can say. But yeah, pointed dripstone hanging that long with cauldron below it, even though the cauldron is below it, it's not going to actually work. That pointed dripstone is way too long for this to work. Another cool thing about these lava cauldrons and water cauldrons, they give off a redstone signal when hooked up to a comparator. An unfortunate fact about this though, worst news all day here in Minecraft 1.17, 1.17.1, dispenser and cauldrons don't work together. So if I put a dispenser right here hooked up to the cauldron, it's facing it, I put a bucket inside of it, and then pretend I did something different with the redstone. So maybe once the signal is 3, it powers the dispenser. So boom. I just toasted the bucket. That's literally all that it does. The dispenser doesn't know how to take anything out of cauldrons with a bucket. If you didn't believe me, we'll try it again with the water one. If I put a bucket inside of here, power this dispenser, the bucket is literally spit out. That's it. It doesn't work. So what does all that mean? Unfortunately, there is no easy way to fully automate this process. That would be amazing. It would be so cool, and hopefully in the future dispensers get this functionality, because to me it only makes sense. But yeah, right now dispensers and cauldrons, they don't work together. There's no way to automate this. You're just going to have to pay attention, come back and check this thing every once in a while, and harvest your lava or your water, I guess. Your water. Pointed dripstone farm number 3 is the final and by far my favorite pointed dripstone farm that we're taking a look at in this video. This thing is so nice. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea of renewable lava. It's really, really nice to have, but this thing is better. So to build this farm, you're going to need 3 things. You're going to need a water bucket, you're going to need pointed dripstone to get the thing started, and you're going to need 1 dripstone block. These other blocks up here are optional. These could be replaced with like cobblestone or glass or whatever. But the one down here below the water source is definitely a must-have. So this is the start. We have a water source above a dripstone block. Like I just said, all of these blocks around this water source are just holding it in. It doesn't matter what they are. Water source, dripstone block, pointed dripstone, and then land right here not too far away. This dripstone right here, the pointed one, needs to be less than 11 blocks long. I recommend keeping it short just like that. And then we give it time. This dripstone, like all of the other dripstone in this world, most of it is dripping. Humble for sure, doesn't really look like much, but this thing is actually amazing. This is a pointed dripstone farm. The full farm is complete right now. Now for pointed dripstone to grow, we need to meet a couple conditions. Condition number 1, water source 2 blocks above the pointed dripstone. Condition number 2, dripstone block in between the water source and the pointed dripstone. Condition number 3, pointed dripstone isn't too long. Condition number 4, within 11 blocks, we need a solid block. This block right here is definitely solid and within 11. Now down here, if we had pointed dripstone sitting on the ground or even a hole, that's fine, that'll work. But if this were waterlogged, that will not work. We need to have no water down below the ground here. If we did have water down below the ground here, this thing will still work. Pointed dripstone could grow right here, like it could get a little bit longer, but we won't be able to grow anything on the ground. So solid block. If we have the setup set up just like this right here, we have 2 spots that we could actually grow pointed dripstone. On the ceiling right there, or on the ground on the solid block right below. Time. This thing is insanely slow. If you thought that lava cauldron farm was really slow, which by the way, 1 cauldron is fully filled now. If you thought that lava cauldron farm was slow, or the water cauldron one was slow, well, make one of these things. This is really small. Every random game tick, there is a small chance of 0.0113777778. Yeah, I think that's the right amount of sevens for a stalactite or stalagmite to grow 1 block. This fact is sad but true, but that's going to average out to about 1 single growth step every 5 in-game days. I waited for this to happen in my survival world, and it was painful. It was really rough. It takes a long time, so I highly recommend optimizing this setup, which means leaving a solid block open right there, making sure this block on the ground isn't too far away, and also making sure the pointed dripstone is not sitting like this. Like this right here. There's 1 block in between the pointed dripstone. If this happens, I don't think the dripstone will be able to grow anymore. If you're actually trying to farm a lot of dripstone, then I highly recommend going around your world and finding more dripstone blocks and more pieces of pointed dripstone, because this will take a long time. If you need a lot of this stuff fast, well, first off, you're going to be let down. Prepare to be let down, because it's not going to happen fast. Second off, you need more of this stuff, like as big as possible. This right here is 6, 7. Yeah, that's not even going to be very fast. For sure, without any question, the bigger that you make this thing, the better. Even with this thing being very big, it's still going to be slow. Just like with the lava cauldron, the water cauldron, there is no way to speed this process up. All that you could do is meet all of the conditions and wait and be patient. If we were to set up a bigger operation here, we might get a better chance of actually seeing one of these things growing on camera, but it's unlikely. Most likely, this is not going to happen, and it's just going to take a long time. Something like that, though, that's starting to get there. If you can make this thing bigger, that's going to be better, though. So if you're looking to get more pointed dripstone for pointed dripstone things, this is the way to go. That's the farm that you're going to need to build. Then you're just going to need a lot of time. One more cool thing about this, though, check this out. So we have a piston right here. We have pointed dripstone that maybe grew all the way up to there. Power the piston, dripstone breaks, which is good news for us. That means we could actually automate this whole setup if we wanted to. Automation is amazing. If you can automate something, definitely automate it, for sure. And this farm right here is the ideal farm to be automated because it takes so long. Like, imagine standing here and just watching the stuff grow. Yeah, it's like the most boring thing in the world. So automation, for sure. I threw a quick automatic pointed dripstone farm together. I tried to work out all of the problems that I've been having with the farm. This is what I came up with. It's 1 tile of the farm. For good rates, you're still going to want to build this farm over and over again, make it bigger, because it will run insanely slow. So here's what I have going. I have water source, dripstone block, pointed dripstone hanging right there, then 2 blocks of space, piston, redstone dust on a block, observer right there. The observer is going to basically power the whole farm. Down below to pick everything up. Hopefully, we have a hopper. Now, I haven't run a test run on this quite yet. Hopefully, this is going to work. I think it should. I mean, it ran a couple tests on broken designs, but hopefully this one isn't broken. And to be clear, quick disclaimer, if I'm not quick enough and I can't get the block down and pointed dripstone gets out, it's because I didn't get the block down. Usually this would be fully closed up. But anyways, pointed dripstone eventually grows and gets harvested. And it goes up there. Okay, but one of them went down there. One of them went down there. That's the issue that I've been trying to work out here. I'm not too sure why, but pointed dripstone seems to get thrown all the way up. I don't know if it's because of the glass or what, but pointed dripstone somehow climbs all the way up to the top. Okay, so simple fix, get rid of the glass. Maybe it was a glass elevator that was happening. I'm not too sure. Dripstone, it grows a little bit more. And okay, that's really good. Let's get all of the dripstone out of the chest. We'll put that back and just do it again. Dripstone, good. 2 in there. That's perfect. That's perfect. It was the glass. The glass was the problem. I hate glass. Glass caused all of our issues. I think getting rid of the glass fixed the entire thing. So don't build it out of glass, and it works. It seems like it's going to work. So here's the farm. You could definitely make it look a little bit better. And like I said, for good rates, you tile it over and over again. In here, I've given the dripstone a little bit of space because I was having issues with the dripstone being thrown out. Honestly, now that the glass is gone, I might be able to compact that a little bit more. And then down here, a little bit of extra space too. I put a staircase that I just got rid of above the chest, build it all in with solid blocks. If I counted all of the blocks right, you're trying to recreate it. These are all the blocks that I use for this tile right here. I hope I counted everything right. It should be good, but that's basically everything. When I tried to compact the farm down a little bit more, even with solid blocks, so I have something that looks like this, I ended up finding more pointed dripstone on top of the water. So to fix that, I just did that. 2 pointed dripstone to start the thing, then it keeps growing down like that, and it should work every time as long as you have it fully closed in. To wrap everything up today, dripstone, pointed dripstone that you just set up a gigantic farm for, what is it for? Well, like you said earlier, pointed dripstone turns into dripstone block, and right now, nothing else. There are no other recipes for dripstone or pointed dripstone at all. It's literally just the dripstone block. So these 2 things right here, they're pretty nice looking, which means building. When it comes to building with pointed dripstone and dripstone, there are so many opportunities, especially for pointed dripstone because it's so unique looking. There are so many different potentials for this stuff here that this honestly could be its own video. If you like the sounds of that and you'd like to see a video like that, leave a like. Anyways though, here are a couple different ideas. Pointed dripstone makes amazing teeth. The stuff is sharp and pointy. Yeah, make a face, put the teeth in the mouth. Pointed dripstone, when left small, makes nice rocks too. Definitely pointy looking rocks, but rocks. It looks nice. If you have some type of cave base or any type of cave setup going on, then obviously pointed dripstone on the ground or maybe on the ceiling hanging down to create stalactites and stalagmites looks pretty cool. The dripstone block itself might be a little bit tricky to work with, but try putting it on a roof. It could make a nice roof block, or maybe in a path or something. Because of the texture, it might make a pretty nice road. Really, like I said, there are so many different building potentials for pointed dripstone and dripstone. One more use that isn't really for building? Maybe a mob farm. So when you fall and land on pointed dripstone, you take damage, more damage than normal. You could definitely set pointed dripstone up at the bottom of a mob farm somehow, and use it to actually automate your mob farm. Drop them onto the pointed dripstone, you wouldn't even have to raise them the normal super high amount, and it'll work. Dripstone, yeah, the stuff is pretty cool. That's gonna do it for today's video. Violet Pirate, Dark Panther 7, and Darkner, thank you all so much for the support, and thank you all for watching. If you'd like to see more videos from me, just like this one, leave a like. Subscribe for more if you want to look fresh. Check out the merch down below the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Go hood, bye everybody. It's me, Wattles.